It's been quite a while since I went to a regional qualifier. The last one that I went to is actually full power zoo format, back when people first discovered the Norden combo. However, I'm very excited to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I love this format to death. It reminds me of the early 2014 format where you could play virtually anything, and as long as you played better than your opponents, you could do pretty well. I took frogs to this regional. I did not get my invite or top 8, which sucks. I lost in the second last round. I didn't play last round. But what was cool is that I felt like I built my deck pretty well, and I had two things in mind. So the first thing was that I didn't want to play any Garnets, which sounds weird because I always play Garnets. The second thing was that I didn't want to lose to Ash Blossom, which I took both those things very seriously. And I think my favorite thing, looking back on this regional, was that every single match besides one of them, I felt were in my control. With post-event analysis or post-round analysis even, I could figure out a way that I should have won those games, which is awesome because that means with more experience and from the experience from this event, I will hopefully do better at YCS Dallas. And I think that's really cool, which is different from a lot of the past decks I've played where I've just like lost rounds to just drawing the wrong combination of cards. Where this one, outside of like one match, which was the match that actually put me to X3, outside of that one, all of them were within my control, which is awesome. I also want to give a huge shout out to MetaMats for helping me build this deck last minute. I really appreciate that. I didn't have most of the cards for it, so that was awesome that they helped me out building with it. And check them out. A lot of people gave me compliments on this Way of the Warrior mat. It's the first mat I've ever seen that looks better in person than it does in pictures. It's really hard to believe, but it looks awesome, so make sure to check it out. Anyway, let's get in the deck profile, and I can kind of talk about some of my tech choices and deck building choices, because it's not quite the standard frog deck. Anyway, what is standard is 3 swap frog. And oh man, this ultimate rare looks so good. We waited so long for it. I know I haven't played frog since we got it, but this looks beautiful. And also, more importantly, Swap Frog's original text is straight terrible, straight trash. So you really want the problem-solving card decks on there, because the first like couple rounds I played with the commons, and people had to keep calling judges over like what I could do or what I couldn't do, so that was really annoying. If you open this card, you can pretty much win the game, although I don't think it's right that frog players always complain about not opening it, because it's an unsearchable 3-of, so you only have like a slim chance of getting to it. It's not like you're going to open it every game, unless you're super lucky. Anyway, 3-2 frog, pretty standard as well. Like a lot of people say, you really miss like a 7th frog, but there's not really a good 7th frog. The ones I considered were Flip-Flop Frog and Poison Draw Frog. Flip-Flop Frog was probably the most viable, but it's just nothing can match Swap Frog and Dupe Frog in terms of like bringing them out with totally awesome. So you just stick with these 6. It's whatever. 2 Rodent Totem, pretty standard there. I don't need the third guy. If this guy was a frog, that'd be some next level stuff, but he is a toad. 3 Ash Blossom, only hand trap I played. It was also the only hand trap that a lot of people played in combination with like Maxi or Ghost Ogre in their side deck. This outperformed pretty much every other hand trap that I would have even thought of using. I did not like the idea of mating Droll and Lockbird. I thought that was really bad, so did not play that. I played 2 Gamma Seal. I will be honest, I won a lot of die rolls, so this card did not come up very much. But I'm sure if I lost more die rolls, this card would have been really good. And it was pretty good for like outing some monsters, just whatever. But it's because I went first, I was able to just usually outperform the True Draco decks because I just already was able to set up a board. So the Gamma Seal wasn't as useful. For the spells, I only played 4. So I played 1 Regeki, which is like, it was okay. Probably for the same reason that Gamma Seal was okay. And then instead of draw spells, which make you lose to Ash Blossom, I played revival spells to increase the odds of summoning Totally Awesome on the first turn. So I played 2 copies of Surface and 1 Soul Charge. So these cards all pretty much have the same purpose. Surface brings back a frog monster in defense position, which is really cool. In the early game, if you open Surface and Swamp Frog, you can make it Totally Awesome that way, and it doesn't lose to Ash Blossom, unlike Rescue Rabbit, but it has like a similar purpose. In the late game, if you have a Swap Frog and Rodent Totem in the graveyard, you can use Surface to bring back the Swap Frog, send a Frog to the graveyard, and then bring back the Rodent Totem. So anytime that you have the Swap and the Rodent Totem in grave, Surface is actually a 1-card Exceed summon or Mistar summon, and that's really good. Soul Charge is obviously just like ridiculous. Better than the 3rd Surface, for sure, just because you can bring back multiple things. Surface it outperformed my expectations. I had pretty high expectations for it, but it definitely outperformed them. It was good pretty much every single hand that I drew it, and definitely would play it again. For the traps, 3 of the Karma Cut guy, 3 of the Book of Moon guy, which wasn't really that good because everyone's playing Link monsters, which can't be flipped face down, or they're playing the Invoked guy, which doesn't really doesn't care about getting flipped face down because they can just fusion summon with it. 3 of the back row guy, really powerful, mainly because there's so many field spells this format. 2 of the Foolish Burial dude, just you send the other copy with him, and then 1 of the Burial from Your Dimension guy. This guy was cool too. A lot of times, probably like 3 times, my opponent would like Cosmic Cyclone me turn 1, and then I would draw this guy and put back the card they Cosmic Cycloned to trigger a Paleozoic in the grave. That was it for the Paleozoics. We have 3 Solemn Strike, and this card was really good for sure. Really, really good against the anytime that they use the little True Draco effects, you just Solemn Strike it and then pretty much win the game right there. I think that secured like 3 different matches. That was really good. 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance, as well as 2 Magic Deflector. So these cards kind of go hand in hand. Really good at floodgating people. Magic Deflector protects the anti-spell, but also in some matchups it is like an anti-spell because it stops the field spells, stops the continuous spells, stops the Twin Twisters and the Cosmic Cyclones. I only opened anti-spell twice, but both times it instantly won me the game. One of those was against Pendulums, and he didn't have a main deck to out, so that was good. And then the other time was against True Draco Spellbook invoked, and he opened 5 spells. And let me tell you, the Spellbook engine is okay, but it's really, really bad against anti-spell because it takes like 4 turns to get 2 draws with knowledge, and that's just not worth it. 1 Solemn Warning, obviously, and then the 2 tech choices in the traps that I played were Exceederborn and Quaking Mirror Force. Neither of these cards really impressed me. Quaking was all right, but a lot of times it just like sat there. I don't know. Like, these cards were fine. It was just I probably won't play them going forward. Exceederborn probably was the worst of the 2. It was only good going first when you open Totally Awesome, but to be completely honest, anytime that you're going first and open Totally Awesome, you're probably going to win the game anyway, so I don't think you really like need this card. But and a lot of times, because like the most common opening in this deck is actually not Totally Awesome. It is set Dupe Frog, set 3 or 4 cards, and in those cases, this card is really bad. So yeah, I probably just would rather have like any other trap card, but it's whatever. This is my token that I forgot to give back to my friend Austin. Someone tried to shark me over my previous token, and that was ridiculous because I was gonna win that game. Well, I only got a warning, so I didn't actually get a game loss. But like, he clearly was like in a losing position. He was down by like 5 cards, and I had like multiple negations on board. And then he's like, "Oh, judge his token, blah blah blah." So shout out to that guy for trying to shark me and getting swiftly 2-0'd, because if you shark people, you never win. Karma is a bitch. That's my life lesson for you. Anyway, salty about that. I mean, I still won, but I'm just like, I just don't like playing against people that are gonna shark you. But 3, Totally Awesome. Really good card, obviously. I don't know. Opabania, pretty good, never needed the 3rd. This guy, I only summoned him once and he got hit by Strike. That's probably why the card's not as useful, because it takes 3 guys and everyone's playing Strike right now. But I think in a vacuum, he's actually really good, because he's like the only piece of spot removal. Otherwise, you have to like kill stuff by battle. These 2 guys, yeah, I know, the memes. I'm playing this dude. He's pretty cool. He's like a worse Gorgonic Guardian, and obviously Gorgonic Guardian's like broken, but both of these sort of fill a similar role. It's just this guy you summon when either they have multiples or you don't need to reduce guy to 0 attack, where this guy is good for pushing and damage. So those guys, I didn't make any of these guys. They just never came up. This guy wasn't good because everyone was playing Zappion, not Denko, which, by the way, Zappion is trash against this deck because they have so many outs. These guys out it. The Karma Cut guy outs it. Just like everything outs Zappion. Don't play it against this deck. It's good against True Dracos, but it's whatever. So I didn't make these guys. Probably would have if it's just like you're just like making Toad all the time. So it's whatever. 2 Mistar Boys. One of the main reasons I wanted to play this deck was because it's the first deck I've ever played since Link Summoning came out where it didn't feel like a chore to Link Summon. I actually really wanted to make this guy. You would probably make this guy even if, well, I don't know if you'd make it even if there wasn't Link Summoning, but he's really good. The 500 boost is incredibly relevant. It makes Dupe Frog really hard for people to run over. 10 out of 10. Definitely my favorite Link monster now. I think there's a new best Link monster instead of Mrs. Radiant. Proxy Dragon. The most common play I made was Mistar Boy into a Toad, and then into Proxy Dragon, and then into 2 more extra deck monsters. That was really good. Proxy Dragon is also good for protecting things. And then the Decode Talker, which I never made once because it's probably bad. Well, you can just make Mistar Boy all the time, so there's no point in making Decode Talker. The side deck, we played 2 Ghost Ogre, 1 Max C. Those cards were fine. Didn't really use them very much, but I'm really glad these weren't in my main deck. 3 Zappion. This card really underperformed for me. Probably because I never played any of the Card of Demise version of Draco. I just played the Invoked or the Spellbook variant or both. So this card wasn't very good, but I think it's okay just in general. It's just, I don't know if I'd play 3. 3 System Down. I didn't play against ABCs, but if I did, this card would have came in clutch because I was really afraid of that matchup actually. The vendors at this event were terrible. Really, really terrible. They didn't have Cosmic Cyclones, so I had to borrow them. Thank you to Josh for letting me borrow them. That was really nice of you. So these were Cosmic Cyclones. They were really good. I'll buy them at Dallas, but yeah, these vendors were terrible. 3 D-Barrier, except, oh wait, the vendors are also that terrible that between 2 vendors, and I got there super early because I was missing a ton of cards from this deck. I only had a 7-card extra and 7-card side. Between 2 vendors showing up super early at the crack of dawn, none of them had any D-Barriers or Cosmic Cyclones. That was garbage. Just let Voltage vend, or let the Through the Decades people, or the TTD people. I don't know what their name is. They're really good at vending too. It's just whatever. 1 Breakthrough Skill is the last card. This card was fantastic. I would probably consider cutting the Quaking or Exceed Reborn for the Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough Skill is really good against the Invoked normal summon, and it's also very good against the Draco, the little Dracos on your turn, because they'll trigger their effect, and then you just Breakthrough Skill from Grave, and then they lose a lot of momentum, because a lot of times they really depend on that effect. But anyway, that was the deck profile. I know not everyone likes Paleos. I like them. They're kind of fun. I don't like playing against them, obviously, but they're cool. They got some cute cards. They got some trap cards. But honestly, this deck's really cool because it's good going second and first, which is one of the things that I liked about it. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I will see you later. Bye.